Some days I'm smarter than others. Welcome back to the Lost Cause Ranch. So today we have some chores to do. It's an unfortunate part of life. We don't just get to play around with the Land Rovers, especially with winter coming up. We need to get everything sorted. I obviously have too many projects and too many Land Rovers and various things going on here. But the only way I can make that worse is to leave them to where they'll get buried after the first snowfall and be stuck until spring. So today we're gonna sort everything out so we can still work through those projects this winter. But before that, we have one more thing we need to take care of in regards to winter coming, and that's to get on the roof and fix the ridge vent. I'm surprised none of you have called me out in the videos on it, but we got some of the foam closures hanging down, and we need to get that sorted out before the insulation goes up. We've been pretty fortunate around here this year so far, and haven't really gotten much weather, and we're almost into January. But that's not gonna hang around forever, so let's get it taken care of. So in typical Joe fashion, went ahead and got the winch all set up to be my tie-down point up on the roof. Go to climb up there, but the wrong side of the foam closures. And we're at my favorite place, and now we have the correct side. So there's not a whole lot in life that stresses me out terribly, but today's been one of them, and having to run to Menards and grab these and prolong this whole process isn't helping. Most of you guys know I don't really like heights.
Don't scare Tyler. I'll drop the poop.
So having to go back up on the roof and fix something is not my idea of a good time. I guess the only bonus to having to make that trip is on the drive, I think I thought of a better way to get the winch cable up over, and that winch cable is gonna be my safety line. In case I slip off the roof, I don't fall and die. I prefer not to do that, and I am telling you there is not much that has been more useful than this LR4 with that $300 Amazon winch. Take two. So we're up here doing what is obviously my favorite thing, hanging out on tall roofs. Not so great. If you go down to the driveway, it's like 35 feet down right there. The peak of the building's like 22 feet off ground level, but no. So before the insulation goes in, got to make sure it is watertight again. You can see my garbage I got to pick up on my way out. But originally last year when I hurried up and put the ridge cap on, I didn't have, nice dirty hands, Joe. I didn't have the proper lap screws I needed to go from sheet metal to sheet metal. So I didn't have enough screws on there, and we had a like 75-mile-an-hour windstorm that kind of pulled it up and knocked a few of the foam closures out of the way. So just getting that all sorted. And let me tell you, I'm having a blast. Definitely not scared at all. Kind of annoyed at the amount of bird poo that's up here. But my Land Rover winch tie down is working nicely. If we lose traction, we won't end up on one of the Land Rovers. This will catch us. Then we'll just be stuck. I'm telling you, my two favorite things are probably the budget LR4 and the budget Amazon winch. I definitely wouldn't have went up on the roof if I didn't have a way to tie off. And with the roof on there, I couldn't tie off to the trusses. So we threw a winch line over. I suppose I should finally finish the trim work too. So the great thing about having so many things laying around that you gotta get sorted out before winter, all of them, including that one, are dead. Dead batteries, at least, not dead engines. We went ahead and got Merlin all charged up. You know what mixes great? Water and electricity. Good thing it's raining. What's the worst that could happen? The old Walmart Everstart charger is still kicking. Yes, that is the one that saved our bacon on the trip picking up the LR4. with the LR4. We can make it. We're close enough to almost being able to coast. And now we have a dead cluster. And there is Walmart. Here is my nice setup. We made it here. Walmart's there. I'm gonna at least go grab a battery, maybe a charger. I want to see if I wonder if I can find an outlet, charge this battery, try and do something. You can see the yellow thing right there. That is my Sneaky Pete new charger. Charging up the original battery. Yep, the one where the budget LR4's alternator decided to give up the ghost. Some of you keen viewers may notice there's something missing right there. No, it does not happen too often around here, but I did go ahead and sell something. It wasn't a Land Rover, so it was a little easier to part with, but the Karmann Ghia is gone. I am still a little sad though, but I will say, some days I'm smarter than others, and today is one of those days. We didn't need that. So you know what is great about having stuff stuffed everywhere? Stuffed everywhere. I currently can't find the keys to Merlin, the LR4. I don't know where I put them. I do have a lock box for keys, but that's in the little garage. I have yet to secure it somewhere else and collect all my keys in one spot. So I have 14 vehicles here and keys in probably 7 locations, or 8 being I have yet to find the LR4 keys. Wish me luck. We have random keys here, random LR4 key there. Not the right one, but we have it. I was just looking in the wrong toolbox. You guys get a picture of my ADD mind yet? The camper is so tall and comically tippy feeling. But what never ceases to amaze me about that guy is it is super stable. So obviously it's got a fair amount of lift, but it has a super low offset wheel. You can see how much they stick out there, but that helps it overcome the extra height and the higher center of gravity. And although you would think it would tip over, most of the time it doesn't, or at least it hasn't yet. And I suppose I should have had the camera out when I parked this over there. Pretty slimy. It was originally parked here. It ended up here on its own. But in a Merlin update, this is the LR4 that was donated to us. I do have the parts collected, and we will have the timing chains replaced and the video up of that process. This is the 5-liter V8, notoriously known for poor timing chains. And we'll have a video documenting the fix on that. Guess what else is dead? Kalahari, dead too. That's good for it. What we did with that Callaway engine, Kalahari needs it too. It is a Land Rover specialty vehicle, and its specialty is having blown head gaskets. Highway tread is obviously the correct choice for this application. There happens to be a Range Rover behind it. I didn't want to bump too much speed and do some dinging, but we're clear. This is a bit of a lost cause, I would say. But we're gonna try and charge the batteries Yes, batteries, because it has 2 on the V10 Touareg. I'm guessing probably just gonna have to drag this guy into the shop. It has first gen Touareg electrical issues and just likes to kill batteries. And then without buying 2 new big batteries for it, it doesn't like to come to life with that 5-liter V10 diesel. But after timing chains in the LR4, this one is on the chopping block. No one drives by until I turn the camera on. Majority of it parted out. That twin turbo V10, we're gonna save it for something. I'd say that didn't turn out half bad. You wouldn't have known some of it was aluminum before. That is the R380 out of the Risco Disco, and it is what is going to back up the Callaway V8. So we are closer and closer to having that ready to go. And we are starting to gain a little space back inside the shop. A lot of that Volkswagen shop stuff has disappeared. We're working our way through the insulation, and we have everything up insulation-wise that we can do without a lift. So the lift is coming up next week, maybe not next week. Not quite sure. Would it be acceptable to be doing insulation over Christmas instead of hanging out with the family? Probably shouldn't do that. But a lot of that Volkswagen stuff is leaving, and I've been a good boy. I haven't purchased anything, or anything major, I should say, in the last couple of weeks. That's like a new record. We're gonna go into 2024 as a new Joe. We're gonna accomplish stuff instead of add to the list. And let me tell you, that's a hard thing for me to do. It pained me greatly to get rid of that Karmann Ghia. It was a 1957, would have been neat to have, but you can't finish everything. But we are in much better shape around here at the ranch now. I got most of the outside sorted. We got everything tucked out of the way. I can park a little closer to the house. So now if it snows, we're not exactly screwed, which is a great feeling. We got one more to get moved before winter, and that's the 944. After we get the insulation sorted out, we're gonna move that in here. I just don't wanna do that until we're done jockeying everything around for a scissor lift. We don't need one more obstacle in the way. I've caused myself enough pain with the stuff that is currently here. But we got Merlin back out. We got room made in the shop for that. We got all the timing chain stuff here. Probably on the next one, you guys will see 5-liter timing chain job in an LR4. With that being said, appreciate you guys watching. And today, your lesson for life is don't buy so much junk that you have to spend a week moving it before winter. Leave that to the dumbest person I know. That'd be me. We'll catch you guys on the next one. We're really trying to turn a new leaf and be a little more prepared this year. I even fired up the snowblower before it snowed. That doesn't happen. And I am telling you, there is not much that is louder than cars going down the road.